Hi everybody and welcome to Tales and Mysteries of the Mojave Patrol. Wait a minute, what's the date? The 19th? Crap! Let's get back to normal. Hi everybody!
Hi, Dr. Nick!
And welcome to the Tales and Mysteries of the Mojave Patrol.
Well, I never knew I had Martians in my garden, and I never knew there were aliens on my roof. I got shadow people, and they're living in my basement. Got a funny feeling Bigfoot's gonna be here soon. I was so blind before, I was so unaware, but now I swear I'm seeing Sasquatch over there.
Well, tonight I'm going to tell you a couple of stories. Let me check my notes here. I have so many stories. I actually have a notebook full. Okay. I'm going to tell you a story about how I saved the lives of two people out in the desert. It was unintentional, and they're lucky that I was there, because if I hadn't been there, it could have ended very badly. But first, Shiner Bock, best beer on earth. I know you guys will disagree with me, but nothing better than Shiner Bock over ice. There's a great story about why I drink beer over ice. Stuck in the desert story, but that's a story for another time. Probably about 30 years ago, I was driving down Cadiz Road in the Mojave Desert. I had my 1969 Wagoneer, which I had from 1988 to I had it for like 30 some odd years. That was a great car. When I got rid of it, it had 786,000 miles on the original engine and trans. And the reason I had to let it go was the frame cracked. Again. And no one was willing to repair it, at least not in this state. But someday I'll tell you all about that car. That was a Wednesday car. But anyway, I was meeting my friends out in the middle of no place down Cadiz Road. And it was around March of that year. The days were warm. I think it was like 75. It was under 80. It was a nice warm day. But boy, at night, once that sun went down, I think they predicted that it was going to get down into the high 20s, low 30s that night. Anyway, I'm driving down Cadiz Road, and there, ahead of me, was a little yellow Subaru. It was so deep in the sand, it was practically up to its door handles. I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but it was well and truly mired in the sand. So, I drove by and I said, boy, I hate to be those guys. I'm driving down the road, and I drove down another 3 or 4 miles, and there walking down the road in front of me was a little girl about 10 or 12 years old. She had a frilly top, and she had like pink leopard print leggings, and she was in flip-flops. And her father, the other gentleman, he was in cutoffs, also in flip-flops. It might have been Birkenstocks, but they were open shoes. And he had like a yellow velour shirt on with the gold zipper, with the big ring, you know what I mean? And he had long hair and a beard. So I pulled up and I said, "Hey, is that your car back there?" And he looked at me and said, "Yeah." Oh, it says, "Oh my God, we're stuck. Can you help us get out?" And I said, "Well, let me try." I said, "Where were you walking to?" And he had a Thomas guide in his hand. And his Thomas guide showed Cadiz Road going to another road, and then you would turn right on that road and walk over the hills to the pumping plant. Right? Well, that was easily a 25-mile walk from where we were. And by this time, it was around 3 something. And in the winter, it gets dark around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And I said, "Oh my God, you never would have made it. It would have been totally dark. You would have been walking in the freezing cold. Let's get back to your car." So they jumped in my car without hesitation. Now here I was. I had a full beard, totally khakied out, right, just like Indiana Jones. And I had a .45 automatic in my U.S. military shoulder rig. But they didn't even blink an eye. They got right in that car. I drove back to where they were stuck, and towing them out at that point wasn't an option. So I dug out as much as I could. He helped me. I had an entrenching tool and a regular round nose shovel, and we got it cleared out behind the back wheels and the front wheels, and we gathered up all the flat rocks we could, and then I hooked my tow cable to him, and after much bumping and pushing and nudging, it finally came out. And what he told me, that he was an astronomer. And I think he said it was at one of the colleges in Pasadena City College, one of those colleges over there. And he was an astronomer. It might have been JPL, but it's been a long time. And the night was going to be really clear, and he thought it was going to be great viewing, so he brought his daughter out to the road so they could see. And they were trying to find a nice open spot away from all the city lights. And trust me, where he was planning to go, there was plenty of that. The problem was he wasn't going to get there in his car. So we got him turned around, and I said, "Hey, if you go back down the road and turn left and go back just any place a few miles back and pull off the pavement, we should be able to see just fine." Actually, I kind of directed him towards one of the volcanic craters back, cinder cones, where you can drive down the road there, and it's a nice maintained road, and there's a camping area, so you could watch the skies at that point. So he wanted to give me a reward, and I said, "Buddy, I can't take a reward." So he insisted, so I said, "Oh, sure, well, I'll fine." So my reward was a warm can of 7-Up and half of a tuna fish sandwich. A warm tuna fish sandwich. Needless to say, I didn't eat the sandwich. I took it gratefully and bid them Dr. Jones adieu. And off they went. But I can't really imagine what would have happened to them if I hadn't stumbled across them. My friends weren't at the bunker yet. I was the advance party because it was a Friday, and they were going to meet me on Saturday morning there. Oh, Shinerbach. Yes. Nothing like it. So stay tuned for the second half. And welcome back to the second half of Tales and Mysteries of the Desert Patrol. My friend Wally, who, if I'm acting kind of strange right now, it's because there's a skunk coming towards me. And I don't really need to be sprayed in my own backyard at this point. So, I'll be back. Well, skunk disaster averted. I managed to get him turned around with a bright flashlight heading the other direction because, like I said, I don't want to get sprayed in my backyard. But once again, let me get back to the story. My late friend Wally and his daughter decided that they were going to go out to the bunker for the weekend with her boyfriend. They were taking him out. He was taking out the boyfriend to the bunker for the first time. Well, they got to the bunker, and Wally decided to take this gentleman and his daughter up to this old abandoned mine, about 10 or 15 miles up a very sketchy dirt road. And then you would get to a canyon and turn right, and you would have to drive up the canyon wash. Now, there's sort of a road there, but it's pretty iffy. But they got up there. Of course, he had a great big tundra that was all set up with big tires and everything, so they weren't worried. So they get up to this mine, and lo and behold, there's a brand new Jaguar at the mine, upside down, completely stripped. No tires, no wheels, no glass, no interior. Still has the engine and transmission and the drivetrain, but all the radio was pulled out of it. It was well and truly a stripped car. So, they're looking at it, and Wally, being the good citizen that he is, decides to call the police. Well, he drives back down to the bunker. That's where you have cell signal. And called San Bernardino County Sheriff's. Because after all, it's San Bernardino County, right? So the sheriff asks him where he is. And he tells him. And the sheriff's like, what? He says, yeah, you just take the 177 to the 62, or you take the 62 to Cadiz Road and just drive north, and we're 26 miles up there, we're camped out, and I'll show you where the Jag is. So the cops are saying, you're not joking, are you? Because if you watch, says, oh, no, it gives him his name, gives him his cell phone number, and the cops say they'll be there as soon as possible. So, just like SpongeBob, 4 hours later, the sheriff shows up. And he's looking around and says, where's the car? And Wally says, oh, the car's not here. The car's up at the mine. So Wally shows the sheriff where the mine is on a topo map. Which says, no, we got to drive another 10 or 12 miles. So the sheriff had a Blazer, some kind of four-wheel drive police car. They drive up there. The sheriff goes up there, takes the VIN number, all the pertinent information. They drive back down to the bunker. And the car was stolen from Rusnak in Pasadena. Well and truly about 340 miles from where they found it. So the sheriff calls a tow truck because they have to recover the car. It's a stolen vehicle. So they recover the car. Well, let me back up. The tow truck gets there and gets all the way to the Sandy Wash, go to the mine, and he gets stuck. the sheriff has to go back down to the bunker and make another call. And this time, they have a four-wheel drive flatbed tow truck show up. By this time, it's almost dark, because Wally called these people like at 9 o'clock in the morning. The four-wheel drive tow truck shows up. Sun is just setting down behind the mountains. They drive up, unstick the normal tow truck. He leaves. They get all the way to the black metal. Oh, I told you the mine is the black metal mine. Well, it's called the black metal mine. Now, if you guys know where that is, I don't want anybody going out there and trashing the place. It's already trashed enough. Okay? So anyway, they get out to the black metal mine. And they haul this Jag up on the back of the truck. And they get it back down to the bunker. The cop has to get all the information from Wally and his daughter and his future son-in-law, and they have to get all this information down. And the cop's like, holy crap, you know. The cop was actually just getting off duty in the morning when they called him to go out there. And he'd been on duty for like damn near 24 hours by the time they got the thing hauled down to the bunker. And they leave. Well, there's a postscript to this story. The very next weekend, my friend Kurt and I went out to the bunker, just the two of us. And we're camped out there, and we spent the day target shooting, right? This is Saturday. And we're sitting around a small campfire, and it's about 10 o'clock at night when we hear a truck coming down Cadiz Road from the north. And it is loud. Not only did it sound like it didn't have an exhaust system, but it sounded like the drivetrain had never been lubricated. It was making all these loud gear sounds and stuff like that. And we saw it coming. And it hung a turn, headed east up that Black Metal Mine Road. And my friend Kurt said, "Who the hell do you think that is?" And I said, "I know who that is. Those are the guys who stole the Jag, and they're going there to get the drivetrain out of it." So they drove up the road, right? So we did not go to sleep. We stayed up, armed to the teeth, because you never know what's going to happen when, you know, that type of situation arises. Not more than 20 minutes, maybe a half hour later, that truck starts coming back down that Black Metal Mine Road. And it is beating feet. I mean, they are just tearing ass down that road, right? And they're going as fast as you could possibly go on that road without wrecking your truck. They get down to that Cadiz Road, and they make that right-hand turn, and they take off like bats out of hell, heading up there. And my friend Kurt says, "Man, they sure took off from that place fast." I said, "Yeah, they're probably trying to figure out how they're going to tell the guy they already got the money from and spent for the Jag engine and drivetrain that they don't have it. I'm glad I'm not them." What do you think an engine, transmission, and drivetrain out of a Jaguar might be worth? Well, more than $1,000. I mean, they take pictures of it, show their bud. "Hey, you give us like $1,500 and we'll get that to you." No one's going to find it. When they got there, that car was gone. So, glad it wasn't them. Well, I want to clear something up a little bit here. Between the first event with the astronomer and the event with the Jaguar, there was many years apart. All right, so yeah, my friend Wally was he was a great guy, and I miss him a lot. Oh, hang on, I seem to be hitting something on this radio. You know what? I better call somebody about this. So I want to thank you for watching Tales and Mystery of the Mojave Patrol. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Please click the little bell if you want to be a follower. I apologize for the lack of content for the past few weeks, but I've had family visiting and we've been really busy, and had a slight family emergency we're trying to deal with. Nothing terrible, but it occupied a bunch of our time. So once again, thanks for visiting Tales of and Mysteries of the Mojave Patrol, and we'll see you soon. Ciao.
Будет 14:40.